What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another live stream, and today we're gonna look at Nikola's earnings, see how it goes. Looks like Trevor Milton decided not to join the party. Look at that. Trevor Milton decided not to join the earnings call. It's just gonna be these guys. The CEO, Mark Russell, the CFO, Kim Brady, and the Chief Legal Officer, Britton Wharton. So I actually predicted this. It's kind of crazy I did predict that. I was like, there's a high possibility we don't even see Trevor Milton on the call. And I suspected that because he's just a board member. And the reason why I think he's not on the call was intentional. I feel like what Nikola did was PR control, saying, hey, if we downgrade Trevor Milton as a board member, anything he says on Twitter is less damaging to the company because he's just a board member. And if he says something in the earnings call that's stupid, that can tank the stock, that's going to be an issue. So it's best not to have Trevor Milton live on a conference call with a bunch of mega big analysts and investors. So that's why they make Mark Russell the CEO, so Trevor Milton can still be Trevor Milton, and then all that jazz. So that's why I think this is why we won't see Trevor. Yeah. He's busy breaking ground. I don't know, but hey, look, I did say, I made several videos that said, hey, now that Nikola is under $30, if you believe in hydrogen, and if you believe in Trevor Milton and Nikola, it might be a good buying opportunity. And I was right. Look at it. The stock rebound from $30. It's close to $40. So you would have made, I think you would have made 20% on your 20 to 30% on your investment. So whoever invested Nikola when at below 30 did a good job. And it hovered $30 for like 2 days. So you still had a big return if you were jumped into the stock. Guess what he's doing on the earnings call? Joking with his friends, and it's how I just conned everyone. We rented tractors that are groundbreaking, and no one showed up. I mean, we and then we didn't expect anyone to show up, but some girl showed up to take a look, and realized we didn't do any construction. So, yeah, that's very possible. It's very possible. So we have about an hour away before the earnings call, but what I'm interested to hear is the projection of their construction, when they're going to get the permits, when do they expect vehicle deliveries, especially the Badger. Since they're already taking pre-orders from regular consumers, that is important. Badger, and then you need the powertrain. So the two things I want to look for is the powertrain and the Badger. They really have to make sure they get those right. If they don't inspire confidence on anyone on the Badger or their powertrains, then it's going to be an issue. And then I also want to hear investors and analysts ask about hydrogen. Where is this breakthrough technology? When are you going to let third-party people inspect the vehicle and making these claims on hydrogen? So I really want to hear a lot about hydrogen, and I want to know about their facilities, and I want to know about their Badger and Nikola 1 and Nikola 2 and Nikola Tre. Now, if they can't give me a clear picture, then this stock is 100% a vaporware and a Terranos. Which one was that Elizabeth Holmes ones? The medical one that was I don't know. Bought VTIQ at 515, still holding. All right. And also the battery technology. I want to know the battery technology because Tesla now has 400 EPA miles of range of their battery technology. Is anyone here big into tech or techie into computers? Because I just built a $3,000 computer yesterday, and I finished building it today. First time I ever built a computer. It's $3,000, and I was sponsored by AMD. I was sponsored by MSI and Seagate. To build it, and Coolers Mastered. I was sponsored by 4 different gaming companies and computer hardware companies to build it. Is Nikola a Ponzi scheme? I don't know, man. I don't want to call him fraudsters, but what they're doing is very fraudulent, if that makes sense. They got no patents? I thought they had like a couple hundred patents or something like that, right? Didn't they have like say they had a bunch of patents? Theranos. Yeah, that's the one. Theranos. So right now, let's take a look at all the EV stocks. We got Workhorse, they're down 12% today. Nikola is up about 7%. NIO is down about 1%. Shell is down 0.5%. Tesla is down 1%. Aero is down 3%. Blink Charging is up 7%. Solo is going nowhere. Spartan, SPAC or Fisker is down 2%. Li Auto is down 1%. And then Diamond Peak Holding is up 3%. So what is going on with Blink Charging? I swear this stock is so volatile. But hey, look, I already made a lot of money on this stock already. But it's not up from as high as $13. Yeah, I still made a decent gain on it. Oh, you guys want to see the new PC? Yeah, I'll show you my new PC. All right. Pretty heavy. So this is the brand new gaming PC I built. It's about $3,000 worth, and it was cool. AMD, MSI, Seagate, and Coolers gave me all the parts for it to do a streamer competition. It's gonna be me versus 4 other gamers for a competition, and then we're gonna give away one of these PCs, I believe, one of these $3,000 PCs to a viewer. If I win one, my viewers get it. So it'd be cool. So it's all RGB. Let me see if I can turn on the light somewhere. Let's see. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah. Okay. Alright, you ready? I'll even take off the case. I'll even take off the case so you guys can see it. Okay. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. I built that yesterday. First time building a gaming PC from scratch. Pretty awesome. For this I can bring the camera, but you can see the water coolers RGB, the fans, all 5 fans are RGB, the GPU, Elgato 4K capture cards, all RGB'd up. Yep, pretty cool, huh? So, look at that. I love the way it looks. Let me turn off this light so you guys can see it better. So I got the liquid cooling right here. It's liquid cool. And then it's pretty big graphics. If it doesn't sound like aircraft cooler, it's something wrong. It's actually not too bad. It sounds alright. Noise isn't super loud, but not super quiet either. But it's beautiful. Beautiful. I built it beautifully. Alright, let's go ahead and turn it off. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for those who subscribe. So if you guys have like a couple of dollars to spare, can you guys see if my notifications working? If super chat's working? If Super chat's working to see if those couple dollars are working. I want to see if it's doing all right. Oh, no wonder it's so off. Okay. That should look better. Yeah, can you guys see if my super chat's working? The little donation on super chat. Okay. What graphics I have? Well, since I'm sponsored by AMD, it's the MSI 5700 RX. 5700 RX. After the competition, I have two I have two RTX 2080 Ti. Hey, DJ Infrared, thank you for $2, and he says it's working. Is my notification go off? That's a problem. The notification didn't go off. Thank you for the $2. Now that's what I was wondering. Why is the notification didn't go off? That $2 should have gone off, right? Oh, there it is. Okay, there. See? Okay, DJ, thank you for the $2. Mark Vejoda, Tesla in northern BC, $5 Canadian. Thank you so much for that $5 Canadian. How much is $5 Canadian compared to United States dollars, guys? But thank you so much for that donation. Thank you guys for checking it. Yeah, it's an RX 57 XT by MSI. But after the competition, I'm gonna put in a two RTX 2080 Ti's SLI it. Hey, Mark, there you go. He just donated through chat. It's working. Thank you. How many RAMs am I using? I'm going to use 4 sticks of RAM. It's going to be 32 gigabytes of RAM RGB. It's a HyperX Fury RGB at 3600 clock speed. 3600 megahertz. 2 cents. All right, let me see. Okay. Let's see. $5 CA to USD. So Mark, you sent me $3.68. Thank you so much, Mark. So 5 Canadian equals $3.68. I email and contact what the roadbacks said. Will be showing off progress on the Coolidge plant in many other ways over the next 12 to 18 months. Dude, that's so slow, man. Tesla can build their factories in 9 to 10 months and have a car out by then. Well, Nikola is going to take a year to 18 months, a year and a half to build their first facility. I swear, if Nikola was smart, they would hire the person who made Tesla factory design and blueprints, and then Tesla would end up suing them. So, maybe they can't. There are in several lawsuits. May I ask if it's smart to short the stock? I am not a short investor, so I don't know how to properly short. So I would never recommend someone to short if I don't know how to do it myself. And shorting is so much riskier than investing, because shorting, if you mess up on your short, you even pay a bigger loss on your investment, and it causes the stock price to go up because you have to cover your shorts. So I don't short. I'm an investor. And when I invest, I'm a long-term investor. I look at the company. I don't see how much money can this stock make me in a day or a month or 2 months. I think about, where is this company taking me in the future? And is this company going to be so profitable in the future where I can sell out in the future and just retire on that money? So that's how I invest. But right now I'm looking to buy a fourplex, so it'll be my 5th house. I have 2 houses, so I'm buying a fourplex. Well, would that be I own 6 houses if I own a fourplex? Does it work like that? If you buy a fourplex, does it count as you own 6 houses? If you already own 2? We'll see. But yeah. Yeah, you could buy put options, but I don't know how to do put options either. I don't know how to do put options as well, so I don't touch stuff I don't know. Especially it's risky. Like I'm not a huge gambler. I feel like once you become a short seller and you're an option trader and a day trader, you become a gambler. Because that's what you are. You're essentially gambling in the stock market versus investing where you actually put your money where you actually see it grow. So that's a difference. Hey, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can do me a favor and smash that like button, I appreciate the love and support. For those who do it, let me know in chat if you guys did smash it. Quadruplex, yeah. Quadruplex. Hey, Godlike, how you doing? It's one of my viewers on my gaming channel on my YouTube back in the days when I was a heavy gamer. Not a house, it's a small, like, mall. How long have I been investing in stocks? So, I owned a IRA in 2016, but I put in mutual funds since that's what my dad told me. I put in a large cap, mid cap, and a small cap mutual funds to 2016 to 2018. In 2018, I asked my dad, dude, I don't want to just do IRAs. I actually want to do stock investing. So then he showed me how to stock invest, and so I was doing it through Fidelity. And then I started researching online and looked at YouTube videos. So I eventually switched to Charles Schwab in 2018. And then I followed this one guy, this one analyst. And I just kind of copied his stocks and what he thought. And, you know, some of them did well, some of them did terribly. And then I just started watching YouTube videos. I remember watching Jeremy Financial Education first. And then I hear his thoughts, and then I started watching Ryan Schreiber, all these other people, the Monk Way. I watched like 7 different YouTubers on stocks, investing, how to read a balance sheet, what to look for in a company, cash flow, EPS, dividends, what's a good dividend stock. I learned all this in 2018. In 2018, I was copying a lot of what these YouTubers were doing. In 2019, that's when I started looking at companies myself. I looked at Robinhood, I started reading articles, and I started researching. And in 2019, the mid-2019 to today, I mainly check stocks on my own. I don't watch those YouTubers anymore. If they're talking about stock I'm interested in, I'll listen to them. But I usually form my own analysis now. And then that's when I started really understanding investing, and then created. I was like, you know what? So I'm tired of playing video games. Like, I know for the last 8 years, I've been playing video games every day, and hundreds of video games, and just keep flying everywhere playing video games for a living. And I was just like, I'm just tired. I just want to talk about investing, stocks, and real estate. So I decided to create this channel in April 19th, 2020. So about 2-3 months, and I already grew up to about 16,000 subscribers now. So it's done well. So it's pretty cool. Thank you for smashing the like button. So that's how I got started stock investing, and so far I'm doing pretty well. Let me show you my portfolio. I can show you my whole portfolio. I'm an open book. I don't mind sharing my my wealth, because if the more transparent I am, I feel like the better it is for people to invest. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you my financials if you guys are interested. So here we are. We're on Personal Capital. If you use my link below, I get $20, but it's free. It's free. It's free. It's no subscriptions. Right here. So right now, my current net worth is $762,000. I currently have $152,000 in cash. I'm going to spend $70,000 cash to refinance my current house from a 3.35 interest rate to a 2.75 interest rate. So that will save me about $200,000 in a 30-year mortgage. I'm not going to pay down any of my mortgage because I can make better money investing in stocks than I paying off my house early. I currently have $341,000 invested in stocks, and I owe about $749,000 in mortgage, but that's going to go down about $70,000 once I refinance. My house, car, and everything is over $1,019,000. My portfolio, you guys can see here, So the last 90 days, my portfolio has gained 23%, while the S&P 500 gained 15%, and the U.S. stocks is 16%, and then U.S. bonds only up 3%. Now, year to date, if we look at my portfolio year to date, I am up 11%, 11.37% year to date. Compared to the S&P 500, I'm up. It's only up 2%. So I'm about 9% better than the S&P 500 as of today. Okay, let's go ahead and see my investment checkups. Stocks. So my investment checkups. Let me move my camera so you guys can see it better. Currently, I own 8%. My portfolio is 8% Tesla. I have 6.4% in Apple, 3.9% in Microsoft, 3.9% in Google, 2.1% in JP Morgan, 2% in Pfizer, 2% O, 2% Southern California or Southern Electricity, then Lockheed Martin and AMT. This is a 5G play because they build 5G towers in the United States, and once AT&T and Verizon and 5G and Apple announced 5G, they need companies to build 5G towers, so that's a 5G play, and it's very sustainable. It's a good real estate investment in my opinion. All right, so that's my whole net worth investing portfolio. Let me know if you guys appreciate that, if you like that transparency. I know a lot of people are not transparent of what their total net worth is or what they're actually holding. The reason why people dislike is because they don't like me covering Nikola. They don't like my coverage of Nikola, man. No, JP Morgan is not a 5G play. I said AMAT. No, it's not AMAT. What is it? It's AMT is a 5G play. That's a tower. Alright, I think we're gonna ban Oscar. He's too toxic for this chat. Yep, thanks for sharing. No worries. I'm glad you guys like the portfolio. We love that you speak the truth. Yeah, no worries. Glad you enjoyed it. I would show you my Charles Schwab account, but the thing is, it has my account numbers. I don't want to... Let me take a screenshot without the my account numbers here. Okay, so this is a screenshot. I'm going to show you. It's a live active screenshot. Okay. Okay, this one doesn't have my account numbers. Here we go. So this is my current Charles Schwab. You can see the date on it. Here we go. Let's actually make this smaller so you guys can see it. Or you guys can't. Can you guys see that? Maybe I'll just move my cam over here. Why is it zoomed in like that? Okay, so this is my Charles Schwab. So this is two of my brokerage, my IRA and my main investing portfolio. So this is my main portfolio. Right now, the account value is close to 300,000. Total stock market value is close to 300,000. Your voice echoing. Do you have two microphones? No. You might have two. You might have two on. You might have two things going. So I gained $700 today. So I'm up about 0.26%. My total gain is 36,570 for 14%. Now I can show you guys my M1 finance portfolio. I'm okay showing that one. So this is going to be my safe dividend play. I'm going to show you guys. Ooh, let's get that music. You probably have two. You probably have two screens open. Okay, so here's my dividend portfolio. This is my safety one. So this is a safe play, dividend investing. So I'm gonna move this up here. That's probably better. So this is more of a safe play. This is companies that are dividend aristocrats, meaning they've been paying their dividend for 25 plus years, and that they have been consistently growing their dividends 25 plus years, and they're safe blue chip companies. So this is a good portfolio. If you want to do safe investing, and you want passive income, I would use this same portfolio for my retirement or any safety. If I recommend someone first investing, I was like, check out dividend safe companies. So I have 31,000 value assets in here. So I'll show you. So today I made over $130 in this dividend safety portfolio, and then overall I gained 2,700. Now I started in January 15th, so this is year to date. So this is this year, January 15th, when I started this portfolio, and I have momentum. What's interesting about this is it takes the best S&P 500 companies with the highest momentum, and they continue change the portfolio every 6 months. So they keep bringing the hottest companies in and out every 6 months with the best momentum. And this has been outperforming in the last 10 years of the S&P 500, the Dow Industrial Jones, and the NASDAQ. So that is why I like iShares momentum. And it has a small dividend, so I can still say it's a dividend since some of those companies are dividends. Procter & Gamble, Pfizer, Home Depot, Walmart, Merck, AbbVie, Pepsi or PepsiCo, McDonald's, Chevron, Waste Management, Medtronic, Johnson & Johnson, Verizon, Starbucks, 3M, Crown Castle Investment, Simon Properties Group, and Iron Mountain. So those are great dividend companies because you can see, let me show you, just dividends only. Oh, here we go. Look at that. So every month, or every time, I just look at all this money I just get from dividends. I just get dividends. It just pays me dividends. So that's why I do like this safety portfolio, because you just make passive money. Like, it doesn't matter how the stock performs. It can be flat, but you still make passive money from it. So that's why I do like those companies. Okay. So we showed you my whole portfolio. Now we're just waiting. Nikola earnings call is going to be in 30 minutes. Yeah. I might jump in Nikola if it drops like below $20, like $19. I might jump in just in case. Where I feel like, okay, that's a stock that might put a couple $100 in just in case. It's interesting. I bet you there's a lot of new people on this channel who's watching this stream, and they're Nikola bulls, which is fine. I don't mind having Nikola bulls. You should defend your stock, but they don't know that how I view Nikola. So it's interesting how they're here and they don't know what I think about Nikola. All right. What is nickel? There is no nickel company. So did you guys watch my video on this Diamond Peaks holding? I made a video yesterday, breaking news, where it's gonna be in a SPOC, where it's gonna be reverse merger with Lordstown Motors. So that's why the stock is trending. So if you believe in like a company like Rivian and Lordstown's Motor, then it might be an interesting stock for you guys to look at. It just made an announcement. You can see the stock jumped up yesterday, 41%. So Workhorse is down 10% today, and I couldn't find a single reason why the stock is down 10% today. I looked all over. I am bullish on Workhorse. I think Workhorse has good opportunity. I mean, if Kathy Woods and ARK invest in Workhorse, that's a positive sign, since I really value her opinion. I mean, I made several videos on Workhorse. If you actually are brand new to my channel, check out my thoughts on Workhorse. I just made an update where the CFO, so one of the biggest positions in Workhorse, says, you know, we have a high chance of getting the USPS contract because all the 4 competitors who submitted their bids, Workhorse being one of them, they're the one that has the best value and proposition and fully EV, where the 3 other bids are hybrids. So, and he says since they're hybrids, they have engines, they break down and they're not as efficient. Where Workhorse trucks are more like golf carts, so you can pause and stop, and it can handle a lot better than, let's say, an engine where you always have to keep it rolling. Worse for the environment, and there's more wear and tear for it. So, and I think Workhorse has good. And they said I think they just made an announcement why Workhorse jumped the other day that all their trucks is going to be available with drone delivery built in. So that's why I'm bullish on Workhorse. Even if they don't get the USPS contract, it's still going to be a tough pill to swallow, but I think they might make it. But I didn't invest a lot. I just put a couple $1,000, so it's a spec play. You enjoyed my streams, Valentine? Nice. What price did I enter in Workhorse? I entered in at $12, $15, and $30, I think. Actually, let me check. Let me see if I can show you my Workhorse portfolio. WKHS. Okay, let's see. Here we go. My Workhorse portfolio. Okay, I bought in June 24th for 11 shares at $8.69. I bought in at $8.69. I bought at $19 and $20 when I became more bullish. So far, I'm down 10% on Workhorse, but I only invested in 2,100 in Workhorse. Let me check Hyliion. Those are my 3 holdings. My 3 main ones: NEO, Hyliion, Workhorse, and Tesla. Okay, so Hyliion I bought in at $16 and $30, so I'm down 26% on my position in Hyliion. I put about $3,000 in Hyliion. Thanks for subscribing. All right, guys, we have about 27 minutes until the earnings when they're going to do their call, but we're going to find out if they beat their EPS earlier on Nikola. So let's see. NKLA. All right. This is what we'll find out about Nikola. Adjusted EBITDA. They're expected to lose. Nikola reports this trade news quarter. Not. Oh, they reported Q2 negative 16 cents versus 6 cents a share. That's bad. That means they burned through more money. What brand of chair I'm using? This was what chair is this? Oh my god, it's the biggest one. I forgot what it's called. DX Racer. They gave me a product. Hey, since you're one of the bigger YouTubers out there, can you check out this gaming chair? So I checked it out. They gave me 2 free one, and then now what is it called? MSI and Seagate are sending me another gaming chair to replace this one since I have a contract with them. And Facebook did a giveaway on one too. Okay, so Nikola reported negative 16 cents EPS versus negative 6 cents year over year. So that means Nikola burned a lot more cash in Q2 year over year. So they lost more money. Revenue is expected to be zeros. Intense fleet testing, testing Tray BEV units in 2021 with select customers and partners. Adjusted EBITDA, negative 47 million versus negative 15.5 million. So that means they lost about 30 million more dollars this quarter year to year. Dang, dude. They're burning through cash like heavy. They're burning through cash. Let's see what Trevor Milton says. Yeah, look at that. See, stock dropped 6%, dude. Look at that. Look at that. They burned through their cash, dude. Look at that. The stock is plummeting. It's plummeting. Where are my Nikola bulls? Where is Nikola Bulls, dude? All the dislikes are coming through now because their stock is plummeting. Oh my gosh, look, everything that they gained today is now gone. It's actually negative $7 per share. Okay. Actually, Trevor Milton said something right here. Let's see what Trevor Milton says. All right, what did you say, Mr. Milton? Okay. He says, we've given analysts the correct share count weighted average Q2 ending June of 304 million shares instead of 424 mm. Nikola beats earning by 20% or 4 cents per share after adjustment. Adjusted is 20 cents loss per share. We ended at 16 per share. 11 mm less spent than expected. How's that? How did you beat earnings? What? Nikola beats earning by 20%? What? Huh? How did you beat earnings? The hell? Hang on, let me see the actual. They didn't even put it on their. They didn't even put it on their website. Look at this. They didn't even put it on their website. Investors. Here, investors news. They didn't even put their earnings on their website, dude. Okay. Okay, $881,000 cash in their account today with 60 mm more left coming in from warrants. So $940 million in your bank account by August. I say Nikola Motors is a great place. Please watch the year-end emission game over. But the thing is, their factory costs $600 million, which they haven't been started on. So that if they didn't include that, that means they only have $300 million in cash. Nikola Q2 EPS 16% down from last year at 13 cents. Sales up 36K up from 20K last year. I don't get why Trevor Milton says he beat it if he lost more money. Anyways, guys, thank you for breaking that like button. If you guys have like a couple dollars to spare it and check out, see if Super Chat's working. I want to see the notifications faster. If the notifications going off with Super Chat, if you have a couple dollars spare, appreciate it. So I don't get how Nikola, why Trevor Milton says Nikola beat estimates if they lost 16 cents per share, where the consensus was 14 cents. So they lost 2 more cents. They missed earnings, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. They didn't even put it on their website of the whole financial breakdown. I'm on their website. I can't even find their financials breakdowns. Yeah. How come they didn't even post it on their websites of their finance breakdown? Aren't they legally required to? Look at this. Quarterly report, November 7th, 2019. They didn't even put the report in. Wait, yeah. SEC filings, no quarterly earnings. Their website doesn't even have their finance. Anyways, The stock is down about 5% right now. Let's see how all the other stocks are doing. All right, Diamond Peak 5.8%, Li Autos 2%, SPAC down 3%, Blink, Tesla, nothing's happening after hour Tesla. In fact, Tesla, they're flat for today. All right. Okay, so that's what he's saying. He's saying that instead of losing 20 cents a share with adjusted share count, it came 16 cents a share, which is 20% better than what he thought of losing 20 cents. But wasn't the consensus for them to do negative 13 cents a share? Look, estimated negative 13 cents a share. So his company still did worse than what the analysts expected. That means they lost more money than what the analysts expected. So that's why the stock is down. How can he say he did better? Nikola beat earning by 20% when they clearly did not. Disney did well today? Let me see. Wait, Disney? They beat earnings? How? All their parks were shut down in like Q2. Well, Disneyland, Disney World was open in Q2. Let me see what Disney did. Just had DIS. Disney earnings, EPS, 8 cents. Quarter 3 revenue, 11 billion versus 12. No, they didn't beat estimates. No, they missed it. Their revenues didn't beat it. Well, it depends how much they lost. Anyways, guys, if you're brand new here, thank you for being here. Hopefully you guys decide to subscribe. And I do all the earning reports, all the major EVs, Tesla, and Nikola. The next one we're going to do is Workhorse. Workhorse is earnings coming up in a couple of days, as well as NIO. NIO officially announced when they're going to do their earnings. So I'm going to have a live stream, have notification enabled once you guys are subscribed, and you will see a live stream and hear the earnings call and see a live update here on my page. Appreciate if you guys can smash the like button. If you guys haven't done it already, let me know in chat if you guys did smash the like button. If you guys have a couple dollars spare, like $1 to $5 spare, can you guys see if Super Chat is working below? See if my notifications going off. I think it's heavily delayed. I don't know if it's fixed yet. I appreciate if you guys have a couple dollars to see if it's going to work. Yeah, talk about NIO. Okay. I did put NIO's on my earning calendar. Let me tell you when NIO earnings coming up. Okay, so Workhorse earning is... No, NIO earning is gonna be next week, August 11th. So that's when we'll hear about NIO. So I have that on my calendar, and it's gonna be before the market, so it's gonna be early. Hey Vikram, thank you so much for subscribing, Vikram. So will this just start automatically, or how's this gonna work? All right, so earnings in 15 minutes. We'll hear how the progress of Nikola is doing. I'm kind of interested to see. I'm kind of curious. How many people in chat owns? Oh God. Okay, they started. Okay, we'll wait till timer. I'm kind of curious. How many of you guys own Hey, Justin, thank you for subscribing. How many of you guys own Nikola stock? I'm just kind of curious to see how many Nikola investors we have in this live stream. Rob, thank you for subscribing. Okay, so 15 minutes we'll hear what they say about Nikola. All right, we have some Nikola. We have some Nikola's shareholders here. Yeah, you got 8 shares. All right, looks like we do have a handful of Nikola people here. Okay, so it looks like we do have some Nikola investors here, and that's interesting. I'm assuming most of them don't. I'm assuming you guys who own Nikola share does never been on this channel before. Like you never watched any of my videos. This is the first time you guys here. I'm assuming, right? Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate you subscribing and like it. All right. So we have 13 minutes before Nikola starts going. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking this video. I appreciate you guys spending like a couple of seconds just pressing that little thumbs up and the blue button. I'm here because of a Facebook ad I got this morning. What? Wait. You got a Facebook ad to come to my YouTube page? Wait, what? All right, here we go, guys. We got about 11 minutes before Nikola earnings. Let's hear. Yeah, they still got music going. All right, guys, if you have a couple dollars to spare, I appreciate you guys send a super chat. See, my super chat notification is working faster. It seems like it's a little bit delayed. If you guys have a couple dollars to see, you can see my super chats working. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm streaming the call. That's why we're here, buddy. Hey, Todd Landerson, thank you so much for subscribing and liking the video. Is your wife Facebook boosting your investing channel? That's Twitter. If anything, Facebook will be boosting my page since I am sponsored by Facebook. Oh, guys, since there's a lot of new people here, I am sponsored by AMD, MSI, Seagate, and Cooler Masters, and they just sent me a $3,000 worth of parts for a new gaming computer in this streaming competition I'm doing against other YouTubers and Twitch streamers. Let me show you real quick. So I built this yesterday, first time building a gaming PC, and it's $3,000 worth of parts here. So they sent me this, and I want to show you. I never built a gaming PC before, but I spent 6 hours. I live streamed it. I had a couple thousand people watching me build my first gaming PC on my Facebook page. And it turned out pretty well. Because I swapped the power off. It's full RGBs. There you go. You guys can see it. Hey, Casper, thank you for the $1 super chat. Let me see. Yep, it went off. Thank you so much, Casper. Looks like the super chat worked. Thank you for checking that for me. Look at that. RGB memory, cooler, 5 fans, 2 fans on top, 2 from the core, 1 on the bottom. RGB GPU, RGB MSI. I mean no, Elgato 4K capture card. So it's pretty cool. First time building a gaming PC, and it worked. I'll turn it off. Okay. Oh, I forgot to say, we're giving one of those $3,000 computers away in my Facebook live streams when we do the competition. So if you guys want a $3,000 computer giveaway, make sure you guys are following my Facebook page to for a chance to win once I do the competition. But anyways, Nikola is down 10% after hours for missing the earnings. Nikola is down 10%. And guess what Trevor Milton says? Nikola beats earning by 20% when they clearly did not beat it, and the stock is down over 10% because they're burning more cash than what analysts was expecting. It's crazy. I don't know why Workhorse went down. There's no real reason. I just think investors are selling out since they went up 20% the past couple of days. Workhorse stock went up because they announced they're going to include drone in their vehicle deliveries in all the ones they're building for this year. And the stock went up 20% yesterday because of Lordstown Motor doing a reverse IPOs. So they're IPO and they have 10% stake in Lordstown Motors. So that's why the stock went up, and I just think people are selling their gains on it. And you know, a lot of people are trying to break even. If they're brand new investors, they don't know what they're doing. They're like, I already lost money in Workhorse. It's back up where I initially bought in. I'm going to sell it. So that's why I think people are selling out. But anyways, Todd, thank you. Todd Layden just donated $5 through Super Chat. Thank you, Todd, for donating. Jason, thank you for Jason Garrett, the former Dallas Cowboys head coach. But I made a video yesterday on Diamond Peak Holdings for Lordstown Motors. Did you guys get a chance to see that video where I did an analysis of this reverse merger they're doing for Lordstown Motor? Check it out if you guys haven't. Hey, thank you for subscribing. So if you guys haven't, I appreciate you guys subscribing and smashing the like. I appreciate it. Okay, we got about 6 minutes before the earnings. Let's see. Yeah, music's still going. Trevor wears a magic underwear. You know what's funny? Trevor Milton posted it making fun of all the short sellers using Elon Musk about shorty shorts, and he made a tweet about it. And that's the same day when all the warrants expired and people started selling, and the stock was crashing. As soon as the stock started crashing, he deleted that tweet. Hey, Hung Gammon, thank you for subscribing. All right, earnings is in 5 minutes. Jermaine Jamanji, thank you for subbing. Okay. All right, I'm gonna quiz you guys. For all my subscribers who already subscribed to this channel, what is my daytime job besides doing stock market videos and real estate videos? What is my daytime job I do for a living? Do I think Workhorse will beat earnings? No, I think they're actually gonna lose cash because they're ramping up production of their vehicle deliveries and marketing a lot of stuff. So since they made a lot of announcements, I think they're burning a lot of cash. So I think Workhorse is not going to beat the earnings until they get another big ass contract or USPS deal. I don't think Workhorse is going to show a lot of money. Well, looks like Inform Trades got it. Michael, thank you for subscribing. Melanie, yes, thank you. Gamer, yep, everyone got it right. Gamer. Alright, yep. You guys got it right. I am a full-time gamer. This is my main YouTube channel here. Nukem Dukem. Over 1 million subscribers on my gaming channel. Then I'm a Facebook streamer. With over 292,000 followers on my Facebook. Matthias, thank you for $2 donation on Super Chat. Look at that. He donated $2. He says, listen to this EC for opposite reason than Tesla. So Matthias is here because he's a Nikola bear, and he's here to listen to earnings to see how bad they're doing. Fair enough point. Interesting. K-Dukes, thank you so much for the $1 donation. Will I stream a Siege event? Probably not. I'm tired playing Siege. I played that game for 5 years and I'm just burnt out of playing one game. I don't know, Tisdale. I don't know. Do you need to be a financial analyst to make stock videos? Like if you look at it, I have, my net worth is over 763,000, and my year to date, my portfolio is up over 11.7%. The S&P 500 is only up 2.2%. So I'm beating the S&P and the stock market and the bond. And the last 90 days, I'm up 23%. S&P's only up 16. So I don't see why I need to be a financial analyst to know that I'm doing better than what the analysts are doing. Because look at how many dumb analysts out there is bearish on Tesla and doesn't see the future. Yes, I'm Vietnamese American. All right, let's see how Nicola's doing. And I own 2 houses. I'm about to own a quadruplex or a fourplex. So I'm about to buy another quadruplex, and I have 2 houses already. So I technically have 6 houses. All right, we're almost there, guys. 1 more minute. I'm just testing the volume. I don't want to put the music on in their earnings because it gets the copyrights. Once they hear detect copyright music, sometimes they block the live stream or end the live stream or block it. Some countries can't watch the live stream, so I don't want to play their music too long. Okay, I think it's starting. It just refreshed for no reason. People told me sell my Tesla stock. I didn't listen. People tell me sell Nikola. You listened. Okay. Alright, why did this just refresh by itself? I didn't ask it to refresh. I think they're having issues because my... Okay, here we go. What's going on? What's going on? Nope, music still. Okay, they haven't started yet. Get rid of this. Yeah, I bought the Austin, Texas property. I'm thinking to buy a fourplex or quadplex in Austin, since Tesla's over there, Apple's there, Dell, Samsung, South by Southwest there, a lot of convention stuff. Hey, JM, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you guys subscribing and liking the video. All right. Yeah, they haven't started yet. They're behind on their timing. This is not an earnings call. This is Nikola's over party. I mean, the stock is down 8%, dude, after hours because they miss on their earnings. And they're late to their own call. So we're just waiting. They're late to their call, dude. Waiting.
Anyone should require operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your telephone keypad. As a reminder, this conference is being recorded. At this time, I will turn it over to Nikola's Chief Legal Officer, Britton Worthen. Thank you, Britton. You may begin.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nikola Corporation's second quarter 2020 earnings call. With me today is Mark Russell, Chief Executive Officer of Nikola, and Kim Brady, our Chief Financial Officer. During today's call, we will make certain forward-looking statements within the meaning of the federal securities laws. Forward-looking statements are predictions, projections, and other statements about future events that are based on current expectations and assumptions, and as a result are subject to risks and uncertainties. Many factors could cause actual future events to differ materially from the forward-looking statements in this communication. For more information about factors that may cause actual results to materially differ from forward-looking statements, please refer to the earnings press release we issued today, as well as the risk factors section of our current report on Form 8-K as amended that we filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission June 8th and June 9th, 2020, in addition to the company's subsequent filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Forward-looking statements speak only as to the date they are made. Readers are cautioned not to put undue reliance on forward-looking statements. With that, I will now hand the call over to Mark Russell.
Thanks, Britton. This is really exciting. Nikola's first conference call as a public company. Going public through a business combination with Vector IQ was a critical step for us. It's laid the groundwork for us to accomplish our objective of becoming the global leader in zero emissions transportation. I'll start with an overview of the business, cover the milestones we were able to hit in the quarter, and then finally overview our strategy for executing going forward. Kim will then go over the numbers. Nikola is a vertically integrated zero emissions transportation systems provider. We design and manufacture battery electric and hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, along with the battery charging systems and hydrogen fueling stations to power them. Our core global offering centers on heavy commercial trucks. Our long-haul commercial transport solution is especially unique with a revolutionary bundled lease or freight-as-a-service model. We provide customers with a fuel cell electric truck, the hydrogen fuel it needs, and all scheduled maintenance for a fixed total cost. All the customer needs to provide is a driver. This approach has proven very attractive, and many customers are finding that they will be able to transition to zero emissions without an increase in total cost compared to their current fossil fuel solution. Our fuel cell electric truck reservation book exceeded 14,000 units, or approximately $10 billion in potential revenue some time ago. Since then, we focused our efforts on direct partnerships with customers who have dedicated routes. Rolling out our hydrogen station network along corporate customers' dedicated routes or milk runs allows us to guarantee a high degree of hydrogen station utilization and avoid speculative investments in fueling infrastructure. Stations are being developed based on known customer demand along established dedicated routes. During the quarter, we signed an order for 85 megawatts of alkaline electrolyzer capacity from NEL ASA, which is enough to build 5 of our base 8-ton hydrogen production and dispensing stations. At full capacity, these stations can produce 40,000 kilos of hydrogen every day, which is enough to fuel up to 1,100 trucks. This milestone marks the beginning of the construction of our hydrogen station network. During the quarter, we also hired Pablo Koziner as president of Nikola's Energy Company. Pablo is a 19-year veteran of Caterpillar, who most recently served as president of Cat's Solar Turbines subsidiary. Pablo brings extensive experience in global energy generation and distribution to our team, and he'll be leading the implementation of our energy strategy across the globe, starting with the initial tranche of stations I just referenced. Nikola and Iveco started modifications to our dedicated facility in Ulm, Germany during the quarter to meet our target of commencing serial production of the Nikola tray there in 2021. The first trucks produced from this facility will be exported to customers in the United States, but it will eventually be dedicated solely to supplying customers in Europe. The facility will have a capacity of up to 10,000 trucks per year when complete. Nikola also recently broke ground on its greenfield manufacturing facility in Coolidge, Arizona. We expect phase 1 of this facility to be complete about a year from now, with limited manufacturing starting there before the end of 2021. Once phase 2 and 3 are completed in 2022 and 2023 respectively, the facility will have a capacity of 35,000 units a year on 2 shifts. We estimate we'll have spent a total of $600 million by the time all 3 phases are complete. We've partnered with Walbridge, a leading facility construction expert, to ensure that we complete the facility on time and on budget. All of our manufacturing activity is now being overseen by Mark Duchesne. He's our newly hired head of global manufacturing. Mark is a 22-year veteran of Toyota and a 5-year veteran of Tesla. As director of operations at Tesla, he oversaw the installation of the innovative Model S and Model X production lines at Tesla Fremont, and he was subsequently responsible for assembly, manufacturing, and engineering there. At Toyota, Mark developed a $900 million greenfield facility from beginning to end and was subsequently responsible for process efficiency, product quality, and capacity improvements there. With that, I'll turn it over to Kim to review the numbers.
Thanks, Mark. I would like to provide a review of our public market activity and second quarter financial results. On June 3rd, we completed our business combination with Vector IQ and subsequently listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol NKLA. The transaction provided an additional $616.7 million of cash on the balance sheet and put us in a strong liquidity position to execute our business plan. As a result of the transaction, we incurred one-time costs of $51.5 million, including advisory, legal, accounting, and other fees. Following the close of the transaction on June 3rd, 2020, our ownership structure consisted of 77.2% ownership by legacy Nikola shareholders, 8.2% ownership by public Vector IQ shareholders and SPAC sponsors, and 14.6% by PIPE investors. Total outstanding shares before warrants were 360.9 million. In June and July 2020, as required by the terms of the business combination agreement, we filed 2 separate resale S-1s to register 52.5 million PIPE investor shares, 23.9 million public and private warrants, and 249.8 million shares of common stock comprised mainly of legacy Nikola shares. Both S-1s have since been declared effective by the SEC. On July 22nd, we announced the redemption of public warrants. Assuming all public warrants are exercised into common shares, this will provide Nikola up to additional $265 million of cash on the balance sheet. As of July 30th, 2020, approximately 18,070,302 warrants, representing 78% of all outstanding public warrants, had been exercised, providing Nikola with an additional $207.8 million of cash on the balance sheet. As of July 27th, all 360.9 million outstanding shares post-business combination have been fully registered, as well as additional 23 million shares from warrant redemption have become part of the float. Focusing on the results in the second quarter, net loss was $86.6 million, and on a non-GAAP basis, adjusted EBITDA totaled negative $47 million. Adjusted EBITDA excludes $38.2 million in stock-based compensation and $1.5 million in depreciation and amortization. Research and development expenses were $42.5 million, which includes $2.9 million of stock-based compensation expense. R&D expenses consist mainly of costs incurred in the development of Nikola Tre BEV and Nikola 2 fuel cell electric vehicle trucks, as well as power sports products. These costs include the following: personnel costs for our in-house engineering and research functions, expenses related to materials, supplies, and third-party services, fees paid to third parties such for outside development, Iveco-in-kind services for vehicle integration, product validation, and engineering support, and depreciation for our R&D facilities and prototyping equipment. We expect our research and development costs to increase for the foreseeable future to achieve our technology and product roadmap. During the second quarter of 2020, we incurred approximately $44.1 million of SG&A expenses, of which $35.3 million is stock-based compensation expense. SG&A expenses consist principally of the following costs: personnel related to expenses for corporate departments, professional fees related to legal, accounting, and financial advisory fees, public company costs such as insurance, SEC fees, and compliance costs. We expect our SG&A expenses to increase for the foreseeable future as we scale headcount with the growth of our business and as a result of operating as a public company. Our total headcount now exceeds 370 FTEs and is growing at a measured but steady pace as we continue to build our team. The net loss per share, basic and diluted, in the second quarter was negative 33 cents per share on a GAAP basis and 16 cents per share on a non-GAAP basis. The weighted average shares outstanding were 303.8 million. As we are in a net loss position, the fully diluted share count is not utilized for our EPS calculation. Turning to the balance sheet, we ended the second quarter with approximately $698 million of cash and cash equivalents on our balance sheet, excluding $8.9 million of restricted cash. We currently have no debt outstanding, aside from $4.1 million equipment loan fully secured by restricted cash on our balance sheet. Our capital expenditures totaled $6.9 million year-to-date, which comprised mostly of investments in R&D equipment. With the groundbreaking of Phase 1 of our Greenfield manufacturing facility in Coolidge, Arizona, we anticipate CapEx to increase significantly over the next 12 months. Now to the full year 2020 outlook. As a pre-revenue company, the best way to monitor our progress and execution would be to hold us accountable for achieving certain milestones rather than earnings. However, the following provides our general expectations for the year in regards to our operating expenses. Estimated R&D for 2020 is in the range of $190 to $200 million, which includes approximately $10 million of stock compensation expense. Estimated SG&A for 2020 is in the range of $175 to $185 million, which includes approximately $130 million of stock compensation expense. We expect average shares outstanding of approximately 385 million in the second half of 2020. The milestones that we should be measured against are as follows. Announcement of a significant commercial agreement for Nikola Zero Emission BEV trucks by end of 2020. Announcement of an OEM partner for the Nikola Badger by end of 2020. Announcement of a hydrogen station collaboration by end of 2020. Completion of modification to our JV manufacturing facility in Ulm, Germany by end of 2020. Completion of phase 1 of our greenfield manufacturing facility in Coolidge, Arizona by Q4 2021. This concludes our prepared remarks, and we'll now open the line for questions.
Thank you. At this time, we'll be conducting a question and answer session. If you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you'd like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, while we poll for questions. Our first question comes from Jeff Osborne with Cowen and Company. Please proceed with your question.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys, and thanks for the detail on the call. Just a couple questions on my end. I appreciate the commentary about the expense structure. That's certainly helpful. Kim, how should we think about CapEx for the year?
Great question. For CapEx, as you know, especially for the second half of the year, we have a number of CapEx items in mind in terms of tooling and equipment, as well as kicking off hydrogen stations, as well as other softwares. We also have kickoff of CapEx related to phase 1 manufacturing. We suspect for the second half of the year that our CapEx will be approximately $87 million. In addition, on top of that, we should see around $25 million. So essentially, you got about $100 million of CapEx in the second half of the year, including phase 1 manufacturing.
Got it. And then I appreciate you setting out the milestones. A couple questions on those, recognizing you're limited. Is there any way you can frame what a significant commercial agreement is? Is that, order of magnitude of what Budweiser was for fuel cells, or are these sort of onesie-twosies? I didn't know for the BEV product in particular how you think about visibility building for that as people anxiously await the units coming in from Ulm.
Jeff, this is Mark. So our target customers for the BEV are very similar to our target customers for the fuel cell trucks. So we're targeting large fleets, and so we expect those orders to be significant. So the kind of orders you've seen in the way of Anheuser-Busch, that should be exemplary of what we are going to do going forward.
Got it. And then is the intent to communicate all of this at Nikola World? It's a bit confusing trying to follow Trevor on his various social media outlets about the timing and cadence of communication of the different variables that you're talking about.
Jeff, as you're aware, we have a number of initiatives that we anticipate that we'll be able to announce in the second half of the year, and we'll announce them as we execute them. The goal is not to simply wait until the year end, but we believe that we'll be able to announce several initiatives that we have working on over the next 6 months.
Perfect. I'll turn it over. Thanks much.
Our next question comes from Paul Coster with J.P. Morgan. Please proceed with your question.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. Welcome to the public markets. It's been fun so far. So, Mark, I just wonder, is this all we get? It's kind of a joke, really, but it's so much already. But I imagine you've had conversations with many customers that are not in these verticals and partners that are not in these verticals. Is it possible that we'll see this business model expand over the next 12 months beyond trucking and beyond the fuel stations?
Well, what you have to trust us is there's a lot more going on than you see in the announcements. As you know, we're talking to lots of folks. We were talking to lots of folks before, but now it seems like just about everybody in the world knows about us. We're having lots of conversations with lots of people. And when we are able to announce those publicly, we're going to do it, just as Kim said. A lot of the people we're talking to would like to keep those conversations confidential for now. And so that's one of the reasons we don't announce everything that we have going on. But when we have something that we can publicly announce, you're going to hear about it. I will make one additional to Kim's point before. There's going to be a lot of cool things in Nikola World. You want to be there. We won't wait. If we have something that's material, of course we're going to announce it. We're required to do that. But there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that happens in Nikola World. It's going to be the place to be.
Right, but there's going to be trade-offs, right, in terms of how much capital you've got to throw at initiatives, and the possibility you're pulled in many directions, and timelines suffer. What is you're not prepared to sacrifice in evaluating those adjacencies?
Well, obviously, being focused makes it as important to say no as to say yes. The things that we say no to, we are very objective and careful to make sure we stay focused on delivering the things that we have to deliver. That's why we've laid out the milestones we think you should hold us accountable for, and we're going to make sure we deliver those things.
Paul, we have always indicated that capital efficiency and allocation is very important. And we understand from investors' perspective that we are being wise about our spending. We recognize that while we have different product lines, what you will find is that as we announce initiatives, you will find that we are de-risking the process, and you will get a better appreciation in terms of how we allocate capital. And we understand from your perspective that this is very important.
Okay, just a couple of quick ones. At the conclusion of phase one of the Coolidge build-out, what will you be producing at that plant?
We will be producing the Nikola Tre BEV, the battery electric version of the Nikola Tre there.
And the same, right. Mark, can you just elaborate what then subsequently happens and when the fuel cell gets produced, and will it be from the same facility but a second phase thereof?
The fuel cell truck will not be built until phase 3. So 2023 is the projected start of the fuel cell build. Now remember, we're building this facility to be flexible between the different models. So we should be able to build a 1, a 2, or a Tre on the same lines in this facility. We're following the Toyota discipline of being able to build any one of those 3 related models on the same line any day.
Gotcha. My last question is: I know there's some concern that you need to put up a lot of miles of field testing of the fuel cell truck in real world conditions, hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of miles. And at the moment, as far as we can tell, there's just one prototype running around. Can you just talk us through how you get the prototypes out there in real world conditions as quickly as possible, and when that might be?
Yeah, well, first of all, we have a couple of prototypes that have been accumulating track miles since we built them. And we will get prototypes in the hands of our launch customers very first, so that they will get the prototypes the very first. For example, Anheuser-Busch long ago earned the right to get prototypes from us first. So Anheuser-Busch will be testing trucks from us. We've already pulled a load of beer from the St. Louis brewery to the distribution center there in Missouri. You can see some pictures of that on our website. And when we have the working first production versions for testing, you're going to see them pulling red trailers. So we're going to utilize our best customers and our pilot and launch customers, the ones that have shared some risk with us. We're going to utilize them to do the testing as well.
And that's imminent or already underway?
As I said, we've already hauled a load with one of our prototypes for AB.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Our next question comes from Emmanuel Rosner with Deutsche Bank. Please proceed with your question.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. So appreciate the list of milestones that you're committed to before the end of the year. I was hoping you'd be willing to share with us some elements of progress on how these various milestones are going, how some of these discussions are. It feels like some information about it was sort of parsed out, I guess, throughout the last few weeks or months. I think there was some discussion around a specific number of OEM potential partners, on the Badger. I think that at some point there was discussion of some of the commercial partner for the hydrogen stations, some interest in there from big oil companies. Just anything you can give us in terms of how these various initiatives are going so far.
Well, we can't go further than what we put out there at this point, but I will remind everybody that we did have a public groundbreaking ceremony. So you're going to see the activity at the site. We're on track to get phase one up on time and on budget. And we have talked about the fact that we're going to announce a partner for the Badger and the other milestones that Kim mentioned. So you're going to see evidence of progress on that as we go. As soon as we can announce something, we're going to tell you.
Okay. Any sense on you can give us on the deposits for the Badger? I know at some point you discussed, at least initially getting 1,500 or so a day. Is that a number you're prepared to update yet?
Yeah, yes. Obviously, we were intending to continue to give you updates, but I'll tell you, this Badger story is just incredible because, I mean, we a year ago we didn't believe we'd be building a pickup truck. We had some concepts. We have a great design team, and Trevor is extremely creative with this stuff. And we have built several off-road vehicle type prototypes, and they had a concept for a pickup truck that they had just in concept. Just as a conceptual exercise. And we didn't intend to do anything with it until we saw the Cybertruck. And a lot of people didn't like the look of the Cybertruck, including me. I think it looks like a doorstop. But they got lots of reservations for it. And so there's, more power to them. We're trying to get the whole world to zero, and it's going to take more than us. So we cheer them on. But a lot of people didn't like the look of that thing. So Trevor just released the concept that we had for the pickup truck. And people just went nuts over it. So much so that we said, hey, let's put a thing on the website that allows people to go in there and fill out a form and sign up for and say that we're interested. We ended up with over 89,000 of those people signed up. So that's when we got serious about it and said, I think the world wants us to build this darn thing, but it wasn't in the plan before. So we said, hey, if we're going to do it, we're going to need a partner. That's our model. If we're facing a big challenge with lots of risk, we're looking for partners and help. And so we said, we'll look for a partner. And we got lots of people who were interested in partnering with us. That has gone so far and so fast that we are now in a quiet period. We can't talk about it until it's done. So you're just going to have to wait on that one.
That's exciting. So that's 89,000 deposits, anywhere between $250 and $5,000 a piece?
No. The 89,000 was the registration on the website. That's just them raising their hand and filling out a form saying I'm interested. We haven't announced the paid reservation since we said for the first few days. But as I said, now we're in a quiet period at this point. We can't go further until that's done. And as soon as it's done, we'll announce it.
Okay. there's one area maybe of questions or a little bit of skepticism is around some of the assumptions around your cost of electricity in the future when supplying hydrogen. Can you maybe give us some elements around, have you had discussions with electricity companies yet? Any sort of like strong indication that sort of like this kind of input cost is actually realistic, or that you would have partners sort of like willing to work with you on this?
Absolutely, it's a great question. So we can make hydrogen for about a decimal move or better on the cost of the electricity. So if we can get say electricity at 3.5 cents, then we should be able to make hydrogen at $3.50 a kilo or better, given our current technology and the current design of our stations. So the key for us to have our target hydrogen cost is for us to get the electricity at the right cost. So what you want to look at is you want to look at the price of renewable electricity. That's what we're targeting. We're trying to use the wind and the solar and the other renewable sources of electricity. We want to be all green. That's our target, is 100% green. We're going to get as close to as we can everywhere we go. And look at the price of the big renewable projects that are out there. This is one of the reasons we got a big investment from a solar provider out there. We had a big investment in our private rounds from Hanwha, which is a big solar panel provider and solar array manufacturer, because they can profitably build solar arrays and sell the electricity on a long-term basis, for the projected life of our stations, even on a fixed cost basis for our target price. They can do that. Big wind projects, you're going to see the same. The other thing you want to pay attention to is the wholesale price of electricity at the major trading points and places where it's free to trade. You're going to see that price, when it's being driven by the renewables, that price falls way down there. It even goes to zero once in a while, and occasionally goes negative when one grid has too much of it. That's the reason we have faith that we're going to be able to hit this number, especially on the average. Some places will be a little lower, some places a little bit higher, but we're going to be on our average. We're very confident.
And Emmanuel, we are having some conversations in the Phoenix area, and we're getting some indications that it can be below 3.5 cents per kilowatt hour. And we are also having some number of discussions in various areas about collaboration and various projects where we can achieve that.
And that's why that's one of our milestones. I think you're going to see us announce some collaboration on the electric energy front and the energy front
Great.
generally.
Yeah, thanks for all the color.
Our next question comes from Joseph Pack with RBC Capital Markets. Please proceed with your question.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the color so far. Maybe can you just follow on that last point? Can you comment on, I guess, the overlap of renewable electricity, or I guess broadly cheap electricity, and the map for dedicated high volume routes that I think you're going after for the initial fuel cells? Because I guess you sort of need both, or maybe you could just help us understand which is leading which. It seems like when you first presented the opportunity, it was going after some of these dedicated routes that you could quickly sell. And how does the overlap with cheap electricity fall into that plan?
That's a great question. That is the challenge and the opportunity in front of us, is to cover those dedicated routes that are our target customers. Our target customers' dedicated routes between the city pairs that are too far apart to service with a battery electric truck, and to get the trucks to that route and to get the fuel to that route at the same time. That's our challenge, to provide the chicken and the egg. That's always been the challenge for hydrogen, is to get vehicles and the fuel in the same place at the same time, especially in the kind of volumes that we need for heavy duty trucking. So that's been our focus. I'll give you a test case. One of the city pairs we know we're going to tie together is Phoenix and Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the location of one of the largest breweries of our a launch customer for the fuel cell vehicle, Anheuser-Busch. They have a very large brewery in Van Nuys. Pretty much all the beer that is drunk here in Arizona comes from that Van Nuys brewery because there's no brewery in Arizona, so they have to truck it all. It comes down Interstate 10 to a distribution center in Chandler. And then from Chandler, it goes to the points of sale here in the Phoenix metro area and around Arizona. So that's an over a 400-mile route. And in order to cover that without losing pallets of beer off your load because you're too heavy because of too much batteries, you got to have a fuel cell truck. Anheuser-Busch recognized that early on. That's why they placed the 800 unit order with us early on. So we have to tie Phoenix and Los Angeles together, which means we need a station somewhere on Interstate 10 and accessible to Interstate 10 in the Phoenix metro area, preferably on the west side for that city pair. And then another station somewhere in the Los Angeles basin or nearby on Interstate 10. Those two stations will service those trucks. And we can size those stations anywhere from about 210 trucks capacity to 1,000 trucks per capacity plus. So we can fuel up to from 400 up to 2,000 trucks with just two stations for that city pair. And then we build it from there. Los Angeles, we then tie it to San Francisco. There's an Anheuser-Busch facility in Fairfield, California in the Bay Area that's also about 400 miles away from Van Nuys. So that'll be another city pair that we tie together early on. And getting the electricity for these stations, again, is the great challenge and opportunity for us. And we're well on our way to having the electricity arrangements in place for those facilities.
And as you look at the map, sorry, go ahead.
Just for a bit more nuance in terms of the way we think about in terms of when we lock in demand and utilization, we've always talked about we will want to lock in demand first so that we're not risking or speculating. So if you think about it, we'll do our best in terms of locking in demand. But as you know, hydrogen station lead time is around 18 months. So while ideally we like to have about 90% plus utilization, it doesn't mean that we will always have lock in demand 2 years in advance. We'll have a demand locked in, and then over the next 18 months, during the lead time, we will continue to develop and gain customers so that ultimately by the time the station is ready for our customers, we will have over 90% utilization.
Okay. Maybe, I think I saw in one of your filings that there was a requirement to deliver some of the test fuel cell vehicles to Anheuser-Busch by 2021. Maybe you could just, confirm that and let us know if you're sort of up to date on that timing or timeline, if that's a milestone. And also, I understand that you can't talk about certain things without customer permission, but you did mention sort of your newfound publicity. Can you just maybe qualitatively talk about the funnel of your opportunity now versus maybe 6 or 12 months ago?
Yeah, so let's take that in both parts there. So the first question is, Anheuser-Busch will be our launch customer for the fuel cell vehicle. How soon will they get prototypes? We do believe that we'll be able to give them test prototypes before the end of 2021. Serial production or mass production of the fuel cell truck will not begin until 2023. But they're going to test with us. They've been a risk-sharing partner from the beginning. They've helped us with development from the beginning. So they're going to take test trucks and accumulate miles for us and get data for us.
Okay, and the funnel of opportunity.
Yeah, so one of the great things about all the publicity that's come from our public listing, and this process as it continues, is there's not very many people that haven't heard of Nikola now. So people that weren't engaged in discussions with us, they are now. We had lots of discussions going on before, but it's increased greatly since this public listing process. So everybody. The good news is everybody wants to do business with us, and we're in a position of being able to pick and purposefully choose who our partners will be going forward.
Can I squeeze in one more on Europe? Iveco talked about the JV you set up with them. Is everything you're going to do in Europe through this JV. I think it's for both battery and fuel cells. And they also talked about this sort of complete turnkey offering for customers. Is that similar to your fuel cell lease solution in the United States?
Well, remember, the joint venture with Iveco is to produce trucks in Europe. So we have a facility that's being modified for mass production of our trucks in Europe. It will start with the Tre battery electric vehicle first, and then it'll eventually add the fuel cell version over there. And it'll build those two versions of our vehicles out of the Ulm, Germany facility that we're just about to finish. We actually have the first 5 prototypes coming off the end of the facility at this point, and they'll go on the test track here in the next couple of months, and we'll go from there. So that's the plan for Europe. That joint venture is just to build those trucks. Each partner has right to 50% of the output of the facility and the production lines there. So everything else is, the energy side of the business and everything else in Europe will be Nikola alone. And not to downplay the joint venture, it's an outstanding joint venture. Iveco's been an outstanding partner for us in getting our vehicles ready for production here. The commercial offering in Europe will vary slightly, but that will be in common. We are going to offer a bundled lease in Europe just like we do in the United States for the fuel cell vehicle. Battery electric vehicles, we think around the world so far, most customers want to purchase those outright. So we don't think we will be leasing battery electric vehicles. We think we'll sell those outright, and customers will put in charging infrastructure, which we're going to help them with, but they're going to do it themselves in their terminal or their depot. They want to charge those trucks overnight, which is an ideal solution for our battery electric vehicles, and in their depot, in their terminal. The fuel cell electric vehicles, that's different. We need to provide the fuel in addition, and that's why the bundled lease makes sense in Europe as it does in North America. We'll be offering the fuel, the truck, the maintenance, all in a bundled package, freight as a service in Europe, just like we do here.
Thank you very much.
Our next question comes from Joe Osha with JMP Securities. Please proceed with your question.
Hi, this is actually Hyliion for Joe. Thank you for taking my question. I just kind of wanted to touch on kind of the grid and how hydrogen can potentially kind of play a role in helping to balance that energy demand. And secondly, kind of if you would potentially think about building some of that extra storage kind of in the earlier phase of building out some of these stations, or if that's something we would expect to come at a later time.
Hillary, that's an outstanding question. One of the great benefits of what Nikola is bringing to the world is the ability to balance the renewable energy that's coming into the grids. As you know, the huge challenge as the world transitions from fossil fuels to renewable sources of electricity is these renewable sources do not produce on demand. They only produce when the wind blows and the sun shines, typically. And that's not what the grids are designed for, and that's what people expect, that when they flip switches, things turn on. They expect to have electricity on demand, but the generating sources that are renewable don't produce on demand. They're interruptible, and they're variable. So one of the great things that Nikola offers to the world is when we put these hydrogen stations in and we start to get a lot of them in there, it represents a tremendous amount of demand for electricity that can match up to the supply. So we can make hydrogen when the electricity is available, and then we don't have to add significant demand to the peak. So typically most grids around the world have peak of demand somewhere in the late afternoon or early evening hours, and the peak of renewable production typically around the world is about solar noon in each location. That's when the solar peaks, and so you got this mismatch between the peak of renewable production. If the wind happens to be blowing optimally around noon and the sun always shines optimally at noon, then you've got way too much power at that point. And then, but sometime around between 4 and 7 o'clock, you don't have enough. Well, guess what? When Nikola is there in bulk, which we're going to be in volume, we can take a lot of that extra power at the peak and turn it into hydrogen, and then we don't have to be pulling power when the rest of the grid needs it so badly at the peak of demand. And then on the rest of the off hours, we can be taking some of that power that's otherwise wasted right now. When the wind's blowing nicely at night, a lot of that today is just wasted. We'll use that to make hydrogen, which we'll then put in vehicles, and it will be useful to mankind. So we are an answer to prayer to grid operators worldwide, because we're going to help balance these renewable energy sources into their grids. And we have represented a great grid buffer. Remember how much power we're talking about here. You're talking about 1,000 trucks represents 100 megawatts. 10,000 trucks is basically a gigawatt. Every 10,000 trucks is a gigawatt of power to keep those trucks on the road if you're using zero emissions. So once you talk about replacing the entire North American fleet of millions of vehicles, then you're talking about hundreds of gigawatts of power. And that's one of the problems with looking at the battery side of this. Our battery trucks represent a problem for the grid too, because guess what? People want to charge their batteries if they're on the open highway. They want to charge their batteries at the same time as they've stopped for diesel fuel today, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner time. So that 5 o'clock stop for fuel is an enormous problem for the grid if they want to charge their batteries quickly at that point. The power's not there. And that's a challenge for battery electric vehicles. That's why we like battery electric vehicles for local deliveries and short haul in metro areas where they can return to base and charge overnight, where they don't burden the grid. And we like fuel cells that not only have the long range, but can fuel up with hydrogen that we make when the electricity is available. It's really an elegant solution.
Regarding your second question about storage tank, that can be somewhat nuanced. As you know, the supply chain is still very early and immature, and storage tanks can cost a significant amount. But at the same time, as you know, we anticipate on all of our locations, we will have at least 30 hours of storage. And when you think about depending on the locations and cost of electricity, we understand that in certain locations, we may need to have greater flexibility. And certainly as we think about over time, we know that storage tank cost is going to come down as we have new entrants from supplier perspective. So we will size appropriately depending on the geography as well as the cost of electricity. We want to make sure that we have plenty of flexibility.
Okay, great. That was the only question I had for you. Thanks so much.
As a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. One moment, please, while we poll for questions.
No one wants to ask questions anymore? Not enough interest?
There are no further questions at this time. At this point, I'd like to turn the call back over to management for closing comments.
Oh, wow. No one's interested in Nikola.
So we are grateful for your interest and thanks for dialing in. Thanks for covering us. We're grateful for you guys doing the great service to explain what we're trying to do to the investing public. We're grateful to have such great result. We spent I think 11 million less than you guys were projecting in the quarter. So we're showing good discipline on the spending front. And since we're in pre-revenue position, every one of those dollars has to come from our investors. So we know that that's critical, and we take that trust very seriously. And we're committed to continuing that discipline going forward. So appreciate your questions, and we'll look forward to talking to you again in 90 days. Thanks.
This concludes today's conference. You may disconnect your lines at this time, and we thank you for your participation.
I don't get how he can say that they did better than what analysts expected. Analysts expected them to lose more money. In fact, they lost more money than what analysts expected. So both him and Trevor Milton, I don't know where they're saying, oh yeah, we beat earnings, when clearly they did not beat their earnings consensus. And apparently he said Nikola is very vertically integrated. And they took shots at Tesla's Cybertruck. So, yeah. Oh, and they're like, yeah, we're going to tell you our Badger numbers. Our Badger numbers, we were planning to tell you, but now we decide not to tell you our Badger numbers. But we can tell you that, when we saw Tesla announce the Cybertruck, we thought it was ugly. So Trevor Milton on a piece of napkin drew the Nikola Badger, and we're like, oh, you drew a picture on a napkin. So let's ask everyone in the world, do you like a cool looking picture of an EV truck? 89,000 people said, yes, we need to build this. And they did that last year. They didn't even have plans to even make the Badger. And they won't even say what the reservation numbers because they're going to save it for Nikola World or for some reason. So they did a groundbreaking with no warrants in place. They said, oh yeah, we need another 2 weeks to a month for warrants in place. And we won't have a facility done until 12 to 18 months, which is normal for the industry when Tesla is doing it under 10 months with a vehicle out. And Tesla doesn't wait for permits because they're that badass. Oh God. If you look through their earnings, even though they have a lot of cash, their cash flow, they're burning through it pretty rapidly. And there's no new details. We didn't learn anything from this investors except 89,000 people said, yeah, that's a cool truck. If you come out with one, I might buy one. Who knows? And, zero money down. Anyways, you can tell the stocks are plummeting. Apparently, hey, we did very smart. We were very smart with our money. Looks like all the analysts agree that they were smart with their money. Oh God. Oh my God. I don't know why people believe in this company. I seriously don't. Anyways, welcome. Thank you guys so much for liking this video and subscribing. Thanks for subscribing. And if you enjoyed our next live stream that we're going to do is NIO. NIO earnings got announced today, and then they're going to have their reveal next week. So make sure you guys are subscribed. If you guys haven't subscribed already, have the notification bell ready so you guys know when NIO earnings, so we can see how NIO is doing in the Chinese market, because Li Auto just came on the stock market, and then XPeng is coming really soon. So we got a lot of Chinese automobile EV automakers coming really soon. And Workhorse is going to announce their earnings soon. If you're interested in the Workhorse earnings and have me talk about it, make sure you guys subscribe. Have notification bells on that. Appreciate all of you guys who are here hanging out. Thank you. And special thanks to all the people who donated today. I want to give a shout out to everyone who donated on the stream today. DJ Infrared donated $2. We got Mark donating $5 Canadian. Actually, DJ donated $7. Casper donated $2. Todd Larson donated $5. Matthias donated €2. And Kadukes donated $1. So special thanks for everyone who has $1 to $5 spare, like a couple dollars to spare. Thank you for donating on Super Chat. You can still do it now if you guys want to. But yeah, this gives me more ammunition to not believe in Nikola. I mean, they just announced their hydrogen truck is not going to be started in quarter 4 2023. So 2023 to 2024 is when we actually start seeing hydrogen. And you have Trevor Milton saying how bad electricity is, even though they're not going to develop anything for 3 to 4 years for hydrogen. So I have no idea. But anyways, if you invest in Nikola, I wish you the best of luck. I really do wish you the best of luck, and you make your money back or whatever. But it's tanking. It's absolutely tanking. In fact, ever since they started that earnings call and talked about the future of Nikola, the stock's even tanking even further. So their earnings call just made their stock look a lot worse. But you can see it's totally falling. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. And if you want to see me live stream on my gaming, it's facebook.com/nukumdukum. All right, have a good one. Take care. I'll make more videos tomorrow. Probably make a highlight for the main points that got covered, which there was not a lot of good highlights, more downlights, but yeah. Thanks for the likes.